Hello, everybody, and welcome to Meet My Pets. This is a program we're going to be doing for the whole Summer Discovery program. So it'll be the 7 weeks of our Summer Discovery program. If you guys haven't signed up for the summer program yet, just check the cover photo up above this video and you can find the website where you can sign up for our program. So we're still doing a summer program so you can read and you can attend these programs to earn badges, which will get you tickets for prizes for the summer. So thank you so much for coming. Today we are joined by the Research on the Road team, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their pets. So let's get started.
Dan, a Wildman Dan show.
My tarantula, her name is Delilah. She is a curly-haired tarantula, and she is venomous. But luckily, her venom isn't actually that dangerous. Some tarantulas actually, their bite's more like a bee sting. They got 2 fangs there at the front of the mouth, and she's actually an absolute sweetheart. I take her a lot to go show kids and stuff. So we get to, the kids get to actually go ahead and interact with her and stuff. She doesn't like it when I talk next to her because she can feel my breath on each one of those beautiful little curly hairs right there. She is an arachnid. She's got 8 legs, and I think she's just precious.
And today we're going to be talking about one of my beautiful pets here. This right here is Toby Maguire, and she is a tarantula. She's part of the arachnid family, and she's absolutely beautiful. So here we have a tarantula. Now, tarantulas are one of my favorite pets to have. They're really easy to maintain depending on the species. Some species require a little bit more moisture, while others don't require as much moisture. But all of them are very simple. You need water, you need food, you need an enclosure that sometimes has a lot of humidity and sometimes doesn't have a lot of humidity. And then all you gotta do is just see what the temperament is of your tarantula, and you should be okay, such as this holding them. Some of them are not so easy to hold. I've heard that cobalt blue tarantulas are a little bit more defensive than others. But when it comes to tarantulas, you're not going to be looking at a pretty serious bite, at least with most of the species in the pet trade. Like one of my favorites are rose-hair tarantulas or pink-toed tarantulas. So you have the 8 legs, you have 2 fangs, you have the cephalothorax, which means the head and thorax can join together, and then you have the abdomen, which is this portion here, which is really, really hairy. Now, arachnids also do not have antennae. So all arachnids also lack antennae, so they don't have antennae like butterflies, moths, ants, and other different types of insects. Now, when it comes to these guys, there's something that's really interesting that they do that kind of makes people a little scared, because all of a sudden you had 1 tarantula and now you think you have 2, and that's what's called molting. As these guys are growing, what they're going to do is they're going to remove that exoskeleton that's too small for them, and they're going to push out of it, and then they're going to come out and they're going to be even bigger. That is called molting. It's nothing to worry about. As far as I remember, most tarantulas will flip upside down, so it almost looks like your tarantula is dead, but it isn't. What it is doing is just flipping upside down so it can pull itself from the bottom, and then all of a sudden you got a nice, clean, healthy tarantula. Tarantulas also eat, they eat anything from insects to very small invertebrates, depending on the size of your tarantula. There are tarantulas that get as big as a dinner plate. But what you're going to want to do is you can feed them up to every week or so, even a little bit more often depending on how active your species of tarantula is. It's always good before you get a pet that you research as much as you can before you get the animal. The reason why is because you really want to build the best habitat for it, know as much about the animal so that when you get it, you can take care of it to the best of its ability. Beautiful little creatures and excellent pets. Alrighty, when it comes to tarantula enclosures, it's really important to figure out what type of tarantula you have. When it comes to the type of species, you're going to want to go ahead and figure out how big the tarantula is. Once you figure that out, you'll figure out how big of an enclosure you want to get. And then it also depends on whether or not you have a desert species, a tropical species, a subtropical species. That one is how you're going to figure out how much humidity you want in there. You may want to go with very loose sand because you have a desert environment for the tarantula, or you may want to get something like Eco Earth so that it holds moisture in. The next thing you want to do is figure out whether you want to do live plants and have a vivarium, or if you want to do fake plants. Fake plants and live plants are both great. The vivarium looks extremely beautiful, and it's also vibrant and alive and gives your animal a really cool habitat to live in. But sometimes it's not worthwhile to do because you just don't have the time. So it's also beneficial to use whatever you think you have enough time for, even if that means plastic decorations. Once you're done with all that, all it is a matter of is just making sure that your animal has water and food, and you're pretty much set to go. Now, when it comes to how old or how long tarantulas live, each species is very different. Mainly though, the rule is that males will live up to about 7 years, while females will live all the way up to 20 and sometimes even older depending on the species. So, as you can see, these animals are very unique, diverse, and they're very different in many, many ways. But still, the same animal, absolutely beautiful, and an amazing pet. Aren't you? Yes, you are.